Hey! The Workers Club. I love the name.
Okay, enough.
It's the Workers Club. It's the Workers Club at 111. It's Larry, it's Gus, it's Wilson, and we're back full force, and we're doing JR's book, and we're going to be diving into JR's left home, and he's going to college. Damn it, I've read in JR's book. I kind of... Oh, did we want to talk? Is there anything anybody wanted to get off their chest before we go to again?
About
anything?
what?
I mean, there's no... I don't know. Anything. Usually at the top, that's what we... There's just some... either something topical or... I don't have any new... I mean, all I have is Vince Russo had some critiques about Raw. I don't watch Raw, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's okay.
I assume that they're good critiques, but... Goldberg should have shown up in a limo.
Okay.
He's not wrong.
Like, you show the limo, right? People go, oh my gosh, who's here?
Well,
Then he
no
comes out of
three.
the limo.
He drove that muscle car, remember? He should have shown up in that. Is that what did he show up in?
I think he just came out when they when they said, hey, it's Gold. Like, I don't know. But, you know, he wanted like an Attitude Era. You know, you show the car. The announcers wonder who's here tonight. You keep going back to the limo. He comes out of the limo. Then you show him going back into the limo.
Do you do the pan up from the feet?
Yes.
Or you just show the people's faces reacting to who it is?
Yeah.
It's like
what else?
RoboCop. Remember how RoboCop isn't really shown at first? You just see like his shadow.
Yes.
Then there's a big reveal. That's the RoboCop entrance, we'll call it.
You'll like this, Larry. Vince Russo's a big fan of Karrion Kross, future topic of this podcast.
Oh, I'm shocked.
And he's now of the mind that basically Karrion Kross is operating at a level above the fans, and so the fans aren't getting what he's trying to do.
So it's not successful.
He says, here's what his quote is: "You could see Kross, you could see he's levels above the man, and that's the kiss of death. When you have a talent like that, bro." Because I ran into this with Raven a lot as the booker and writer. The only thing you got to make sure of is it's not too complex for the people at home, or they don't understand it. That's the only thing. And I remember telling Raven that sometimes, like, bro, this is freaking brilliant, but they're not gonna get it at home.
The only time he would have worked with Raven was TNA 03. So that's
brilliant stuff.
Yeah.
He's working on, like, he's up here, and the casual TNA viewer flipping through, and they see ladders, because Vince, remember, he wrote that in his book, that you have to have like ladders at the TNA level. So when someone flips through, they see ladders, they go, wait a minute, I'm going to stop and watch this.
Yes.
And then also his other bugaboo was that Dom said on Raw that he booked a match with McDonough and AJ. So that Dom comes forward and says, I don't know how he put it. He says, Dom booked a match. I'm watching this and I'm really trying to figure this out. I'm like, wait, so Dom booked the match? Dom's a booker now?
Okay.
Yeah, so he wanted to see the authority figure booking the match, not Dom just showing up and saying that he's booked the match. He says WWF doesn't care, or WWE, I apologize, and neither do the fans.
Okay.
Interesting.
Who are we booking for?
He's I don't know. He said he's going to quit, right? He said he's going to quit
Again,
watching
yes.
wrestling. Yeah. Okay. Is that time near? Like, why is he doing this to
It's
himself?
happened before.
Where he stopped watching wrestling?
I said he was.
Oh, but then he okay.
Yeah.
Feel bad for guys like Brian Alvarez and Vince
This
Russo.
is my last shoot interview, Sean. It's God is my witness. This is the last time I'm answering this question about the reverse battle royal.
Let's put it to bed.
Yeah.
No one ever stops watching.
Yeah, what? What's he gonna do down in that basement with when the baseball season's over? He's gonna sneak some wrestling in. How do you think his fantasy baseball teams are doing? Good?
I think he's got enough that at least one of them has got to be.
Yeah. I'll have to check his YouTube and wait. You know somebody's going to pay money to ask him that. They're going to pay him $5. How's fantasy baseball going this year? All right. We left, we cut it a little early last time and then watched some JR stuff because Gus, you need to be here for college. JR in college. JR, the party animal. It's 1970.
Before we get
Again,
into
it's just funny picturing his face.
Yes, his giant
The
JR.
different stages of his life.
Now he's got a Letterman's jacket or something, you know.
Were you in a frat, Gus?
No.
Okay. Right, that's not my... But before we get into it, the thing about the FFA and the frats and...
Yeah.
I don't know anything about frats. They seem, I don't know, weird to me.
Yeah, I've got no exposure to that.
I mean, it seemed like just a club to drink in, but it seems like JR's taking it seriously about his grades, and...
Yeah.
I
don't
guess
know.
there's some prestige in that. I don't want to offend anyone that was in any sort of fraternal organization.
The closest was, if I'm remembering right, my brother thought about joining one when he first got into college, but then he got a whiff of something where he kind of slowly early on was like
sexual assaulting?
I'm not going to. Something's the way he asked about something, and then he wasn't getting a straight enough answer about something, and he was like, "Oh, okay," something along those lines. Where then he lost interest. Let's see. So, 1970. JR says even though he left the farm, he still found himself watching a cow. This cow, however, spent the night dancing sexily on its hind legs in a rundown motel. That's how this chapter opens, and it's supposed to. It's good. We get this a lot where they're like, "Tune in, this is all going to make sense here." But to start with that, I was kind of confused out of the gate. He graduated among the top kids, as he puts it, in his class. At Westville High School, he earned a President's Council Leadership Scholarship to Oklahoma State, so that's where he's at. His mother opened a secret account for me with Harold's, a menswear store in Stillwater, so that he could fit in with the guys in the fraternities.
So he's getting like tailored, custom made?
Guess so. He's going to be in Sigma. Is it Sigma Chi, an esteemed social fraternity that recruited JR right out of the gate. They like his grades, they like his FFA credentials. He says it was an honor to be in Sigma Chi. It's pretty much the top dog on campus, that fraternity. And he was elected president of the fraternity's pledge class.
My God. Pledge class.
The OSU
All right,
campus.
I'm signing up for classmates.com because they have JR's yearbook on here, and I want to fucking see it.
Oh, no.
All right. Now, let's see.
He's just a boy, goddammit.
He goes into his thing. What does he go into? He considers himself a small town farm boy. And he met several people who woke up on third base and thought they'd hit a triple. Daddy had gotten them to third, and they thought that made them special.
JR ain't no fortunate son.
Yeah. And, he got decent grades in high school and all that, and he was pretty accomplished in high school, but now he's got freedom. He's away from mom and dad and the farm, and he's going to nickel beer night. He's going to frat house events. And his grades are going down the tube. If it was there to be drunk, I could stand long enough to drink it. One or two drinks just weren't enough. He only lasted one semester at OSU.
Damn.
That's how bad his grades got. And he kind of brings up the thing that earlier we were talking about in his high school, where he was very on about, there was one teacher for every 15 kids or whatever it was. Because he had come from a county that had 8,000 people to a campus that had 30,000 students, hundreds of staff. I saw more beautiful women on my first day than I had in my whole life up to that point.
Yeah.
So he says there were just too many distractions for a wide-eyed country boy to handle. All that plus a lack of money.
My God, I'm looking at him.
Yeah, got him.
Glad this actually worked.
He made it into the yearbook, only being there a semester. Wild.
It sounds like he came in pretty hot, president of the.
Right.
So damn, that's a crash out, as the kids say.
Look at this poor fuck, David Tunnel.
What?
David
What's wrong with David Tunnel?
That's a lot of head.
Tunnel? It is.
I would hope so. Like David Tunnel.
He's not working the bangs like the swoop, like JR is, and the guy next to him.
That's true. I hope he's got his own photo. Promo photo for the FFA president. Wait. That's what I'm looking for. Or like JR with a pig.
Wait, go back. Who is the gal next to David Tunnel?
Well, there are some weird looking people in here. I don't keep going. It's not important.
Oh man. Yeah, I just want to know.
That was normal, by the way. So I think we know. It's Oklahoma. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Jim Pritchett looks. Yeah. I hope
have a contact in Oklahoma. Okay, now it's back up. Who's that gal next to David Tunnel?
That's normal walking stick.
Walking stick?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I was putting it together. I must not have heard that. Walking tin or something like that. Like walking stick. Okay. Oh, okay. You like that, Larry?
Oklahoma's diverse.
Who we got for juniors there?
No justice on stolen land.
So, where are we at here? Oh, okay. So he reiterates again. He has to get out of OU. Well, see, this is where I got confused, Larry. Remember, I said, he went to OU or his alma mater, wherever. He's obsessed with that football team, and you said no, it's Omaha State. Because he says
Omaha
OSU
State,
earlier.
you just called it.
No, did I really? Oklahoma State. OSU, he says the OSU campus. Then he goes here and he says, as much as I loved OU. So is it OSU? Which Boomer Sooner? Which one is it?
Wilson, why can't you read? Read the sentence.
What? Oh, I couldn't afford to go there. I finished it. I've read this book. Okay. Anyways, he goes to Northeastern State University, which was in Tahlequah.
His complaint is that the campus is too big. So why would he even consider Oklahoma University? It's bigger than Oklahoma State.
Because he loved it. And he couldn't, but it's money more than anything.
Okay.
And there definitely wouldn't be any attractive women like Walking Stick or
That's true.
Dave
know.
Tunnels.
Dave Tunnels.
Sherry Pendergraft looks pretty cute.
I want to see some of the guys too.
Oh, those were sophomores. I'm sorry, JR.
I want to see some. I want to see some studs.
Keep going. We'll do it out of the next break. I'll find some.
That's where I'd meet the dancing cow at Northeastern State University. So he settles into Northeastern State. He has a new fraternity now, Phi Lambda Chi. I also joined the college flag football team.
Wow, so JR is like a pioneer of flag football. They're pushing that hard now.
Yeah.
It's going to be a
JR is
limit.
like, yeah.
He's going to be the Jerry West on their logo eventually, the silhouette.
Could you imagine the JR silhouette but with the flags?
The big old head.
I was right. There is a photo of the FFA, and Jim Ross is in that as well.
All right, let's see.
Does he have a
It's
pig?
too small. It's
Oh, boo.
you know, there's like 45 people in it.
Can you ask AI to like enlarge it?
I'm not smart enough to do that.
Feed it into grok, right? Whatever that is. And you say
Find
make big.
Jim Ross.
Find Jim Ross, make big.
Make it big. Yeah.
So this flag football thing I had a problem with. This kind of lets loose personality trait in JR.
Although, wait a
where
second. There is some info here. Did Ross not say he was the president?
he did.
He's not.
Whoa.
Oh,
Yeah.
is he not? Maybe he's vice president. Is he vice
In
president?
the text underneath where it says who's in what row, it says treasurer, reporter, Randy Wagnon, president, Ray Williams, vice president, Jim, secretary, Leland, whatever. Jim Ross is just a normal civilian in the FFA.
Huh? Yeah, he says I was president of the
shit.
student body, and he said he was state vice president of the Future Farmers. You'd think if you were the state vice president, you'd get a gig at least in the local chapter, but maybe not.
Okay, I guess that's technically could be right.
So yeah, JR takes. It's interesting how JR puts this. He says, you know, the college flag football stuff. This couldn't have been official, right? It's intramural. It's just like fraternities or something. It's not university recognized. No way.
Flag football? No.
No. But he puts, I joined the college flag football team. He says, okay, his teams mostly were just like high school guys trying to relive their glory days. And myself included. Did he say he played football in high school? I thought he was just working the farm all the time. I don't remember him saying he played football.
He didn't mention sports.
Um,
Okay. No, you know what? Here I am going to do this. Sorry again, but it's a small class. That's why JR saying he was among the top. It wasn't really that much of an accomplishment. Because there's like, I don't know, 40 people. But yeah, I found the Zoom. There's JR right there. He's a big boy.
oh yeah.
But
By God.
I found they have, you know, just like wacky stuff that happened. That's fucking JR right there.
What's he doing?
I don't know. There's a kid on a
I'm not
bicycle.
sure what he's doing.
Slapping
One other
that
guy's
kid,
falling. Yeah, or he's like reaching out to touch him.
making Jerry Lewis faces.
Yeah.
And JR's playing the straight man, probably.
Trials and tribulations.
I don't see any more JR.
Where's Forrest Gump in these pictures?
He was desegregating Alabama schools.
Yeah. Standing in front of the school with JR, confused. You know, this is like I said. Jared talks about this team like they're they're really something. Like we'd find another gear. We took it seriously.
Senior high football team, Jim Ross, number 75.
Number 75.
He looks like
So he's a quarterback.
He looks like he's the biggest guy on the team, honestly.
Oof.
Probably playing left tackle. Probably playing the blind side. Only problem was they didn't pass back then. They ran every place. It didn't matter.
How'd you find a helmet for that guy? That's what I want to know.
Oh, he's even
man.
listed. Wow, look at this fucking guy. See, I shouldn't shit on him. That's what I get.
Naughty.
He's even called out here. Look at that. Senior center. All conference, all state,
Whoa.
honorable mention through your letterman.
Oh,
Hell yeah,
shit.
JR.
Man, imagine lying across that.
Little did he know.
Seriously, look at him. He's the biggest fucking guy.
Oh, wow.
Boy, yeah, he is.
That's a farm boy.
Scroll
he
back
was
down to
a
that
player?
picture of him where he's lining up with the football.
Yeah.
Show that. That's exactly. Little did he
That's
know, as they would
unpasteurized
write,
strength.
was that Vince McMahon would eventually have a mannequin in that same position for a sketch.
That's true.
You think Vince ever made him like scrimmage like across him? Just JR and Vince
Yeah, running
going at
tackle.
it. Like, come on.
See if I can get past you into my desk.
Exactly.
Please, let's not do this again.
Yeah.
JR is just wondering how he's gonna feed his family and make his marriage last for another month.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the princess, the home queen. Rose Abels?
Rose. Yeah, maybe. I'm more of a fan of Sherry Neely here.
They didn't have fonts back then, so this is just somebody's writing that they kind of made, that they put it taped on or however that works back then.
Correct. I thought, didn't Jim say he played basketball?
Yeah, and I think we said, huh, really?
But yeah, we chalked it up to Oklahoma. Yep, that team is
on the
entirely
basketball.
white. That is a very white.
Oh,
They
God,
do
I would
have.
love if there was.
It's just as I said. They do have Fishing Hawk in there
Yeah. Okay.
because
They
they
are
said it was
working
by a bunch of
both.
white guys and a couple of native guys.
Yeah.
And that would have been what JR's competition was.
One guy's name is White Lee.
Oh boy,
Um,
like the general.
Oh, they got some nice copyrighted images in here.
yeah.
Just-
Yeah, you could do that back then. Doesn't matter.
That's it.
Disney coming down hard on Westville. I saw your yearbook.
Cease and desist. All right.
JR's college flag football team made it to the postseason. Preparation was key. We immediately bought a keg and some weed. So they're on the bus. There's wafts of smoke.
Willie
Keg.
Nelson.
Yeah, in play. He goes into where to sit. Not too close to the front like a sissy, and not at the back like a jock.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. He doesn't want to get mixed up with the beer, or he just wants the beer. He doesn't want to do anything else, or belly wash, as my grandfather called it. I never heard that. Calling booze belly wash. I like it. Might steal it. So what's happened? Okay. People are making speeches. They're toasting each other as they drive the couple hundred.
So JR is
miles.
not partaking yet, he's saying.
No, he's just sticking to beer.
Belly wash.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna definitely try it out in front of my wife at least. Maybe we go out a couple nights and go, oh boy, I cannot wait to get my hands on some belly wash.
Just you got to work it in straight faced. You know that. I
Yeah.
shouldn't say this, but
Yeah.
you will.
That's good. Or you just take a nice big gulp of beer and go, "That's some good belly wash."
And then insist that you've always called it belly wash, and
That's doing the job. So then the mescaline came out.
by God,
I like that Jim goes, I'd heard something about hallucinogens, LSD, peyote. But he kind of says, I never asked any follow-up questions because I never figured I'd be around it. So someone goes, Jim, have you ever tried this? Sober Jim would run a mile from any drug like that. Sober Jim made drunk Jim not promise not to get involved in anything like that. And drunk Jim agreed. Well, it turns out drunk Jim is a liar and cannot be trusted. Jim puts out a hand. Somebody puts something in the palm of his hand. Don't think, just slam him back and wash him down. No problem. He throws him back in his mouth, chugs his beer. Let's see. I remember a mini cheer and someone saying that I didn't take enough to do shit, quote unquote. Picture JR's face, a young JR staring, like he's staring straight ahead. He's just trying to drink his beers. He's in the middle of the bus. Doesn't want to be in the front like a sissy, whatever that means. Doesn't want to be in the back like a jock. He just slammed some mescaline. Really? Give me more. Drunk Jim was invincible, or a dumbass. So once again, my palm was sprinkled, and once again, I slammed the seeds back. I didn't even look to see how many. Another cheer. Some comments were made about how I'm going to regret that. I already did. So I just sat my head against the window, waiting for something really bad to happen as I watched the country blur past as we traveled. Sad. He's drinking and doing drugs and he can't even enjoy it. He's just...
well, we got those boys in Vietnam. Right?
You can defend your country, but you can't have a drink.
An hour later, he thinks that the seeds had no effect. They're at the Little Rock Motor Lodge. 18 drunk college boys over 3 rooms, $20 a room. So they all stampede in for calling beds, calling in this, going to the bathroom, getting more beer. And he sits by the window of one of the rooms. And he looks out, the stars in the sky, and there's a cow dancing outside his window. And he writes, "What the hell?"
By God.
He says it's a bovine Michael Jackson cutting it up outside my window. And the more that he watched, the more he found it normal. And now he says the whole team are sitting silently in the one hotel room. Someone had run across the street and stolen a traffic cone that had an orange rotating light on top of it. And that light was now almost the center of the universe. They all were just staring in at that orange rotating light. So they're all there. He says, there we were, 18 college boys on tour, crammed into a tiny motel room, tripping on mescaline, smoking a cone. As a dancing
Hell yeah.
As a dancing
My
cow.
God.
Easily the coolest thing we've read from anybody in the business of what they did in college.
Smoking a cone, absolutely. That is my man.
watching a dancing cow try to get his attention from an orange light. And then he says that he at some point realizes that he's utterly stoned out of my head. I like this. I was so far in that I didn't care. I felt warm, comfortable, and totally at ease.
Just wait until you remember about those puppies, Jim.
So much so that I became captivated by a spot of saliva on the side of my fellow teammate's mouth.
Uh-oh.
Okay. All right.
Slobberknocker was born that night.
Yeah. And he just he slides back into bed. My back against the wall as the TV talked away in the background. The light, the cow, the saliva. Hours gone. Just watching. Sitting in silence and smiling. As my mind went through the process of being completely blown. And then he thinks about, or he hears, wrestling. And he goes to the TV, and it's WCIU out of Chicago.
Oh, hell yeah. Channel 26 EU.
Mm-hmm. It was snowing, barely viewable, but it was perfect for JR getting this from the hotel antenna. Pat O'Connor versus Dick the Bruiser in a TV classic in black and white.
Dick
And
the
he's
Bruiser, Dick the
just
Bruiser,
wrestling.
gonna fuck you up.
He just wants to be in wrestling. That's how he leaves it. He's chirping in Arkansas thinking, how? I need to be in that. That's perfection. I need to be involved. It's 1973. We got destroyed in Little Rock. So, there you go. They lost.
I'm surprised they're traveling that far for college flag football.
I guess. To play another frat, I guess.
But that seems like a distance.
Yeah, but it makes them feel like, makes them feel good. They're traveling. Makes it feel legit. We're all traveling around.
I suppose.
So what does he say? We were determined to avenge our loss and become the best, most feared team in the league. There was a last straw, though, with the dean of students, a conflict that broke out during an intramural football game between our team and the men of Alpha Phi Alpha, an African-American fraternity. JR really kind of, this describing this incident gets very... A conflict broke out during an intramural football game.
Yep.
And, by the way, and he has to, Alpha Phi Alpha was an African-American fraternity. Okay. They had a really good team, but in the heat of championship battle, we had issues over each other's tactics.
Okay. Thought they were too flashy? Showboating too much?
Don't know. To us...
Too razzle-dazzle?
It was a high stakes as a game could be. There's a lot of trash talking, a lot of physical contact.
Oh, no.
No, there was not. No, it shouldn't have been. It's flag football, Jim. And some late hits by players on both sides. You mean grabs?
Well, yeah. Late hits.
But the real damage was done off the football field, and the fallout of the game became an uncomfortable issue for the administration. What happened? He doesn't say what happened. What happened off the field, Jim?
You know the song Helter Skelter?
Yeah.
There's a war going on. A race war in Stillwater, Oklahoma.
So, the administration does not want a heated issue between an all-white fraternity and an all-black fraternity
No,
in
of
a
course
politically
not.
charged era, particularly when it made the school paper. Okay, can we track this down? What happened? The optics, Jim says,
The optics, okay.
of this situation were going to be seen as racial undertones when there were none. It's all just
What was the
competition.
trash talk? I have to know what insults, because if they were racially charged insults, that's a problem, right?
It was whistle to whistle with a desire to win, and it was that exact desire that got several of us summoned to Dean Baker's office. And JR really thinks his name is Dean, he says.
Yeah, like Douglas.
So the dean's idea is that they need to rehabilitate the fraternity's image. Why? We don't know. JR's keeping pretty tight-lipped about what the apparently racial, possibly, if you looked at it that way, something to do with charity, something to do with fundraising, something that people could see. So they're all throwing up ideas. What do we do? Like a car wash, or I don't know. And JR says in the group, "How about wrestling?" He looks to his friend Jerry Donnelly. I think this is his first appearance. Jerry's eyes are lighting up. He also likes wrestling. He's like, "Oh yeah." But the group likes it. We could put on a wrestling event, raise some money that way. But he
should have been shut down right there.
They agree, but then JR's like, well, how the hell did you put on a wrestling show? He has no idea. So his friend Jerry goes, think we should just, because he's thinking now about the local promotion, think we should just phone him? Jerry asked. Okay, I replied. So we phoned him. So college JR goes to the Tulsa Assembly Center. They had invited him down. He's going to meet Leroy McGuirk, sorry, and his behemoth partner, known as William F. Watts Jr., or Cowboy Bill Watts. They gave him ringside seats at the show. He's watching a Harley race match with Bill Watts.
Oh man, those two bears going at it.
JR screams himself hoarse. His friend is hoarse.
Get him, cowboy.
Watts was in no fit shape to continue. He's bleeding.
Oh, I thought it was just going to end it. He was in no shape.
No. They call for the bell out of concern for Watts. The official call was a stoppage due to excessive blood loss.
So Bill Watts is blading to the point of needing like a transfusion at a charity show.
I guess so. No, this isn't the charity show. This is him. They want to figure out how to run a wrestling show, so they've called the local promotion to find out how to, if they would help them run it.
They're having a meeting.
Yeah, this is a Monday. On a Monday night, they're called to the back. Let's see. So then we got JR. I timidly knocked on the door, and to my surprise, Bill answered. I don't know why I was surprised. His head is wrapped in gauze and tape and bandages. Blind Leroy McGuirk is sitting there in a chair puffing on a cigar. This office has a lot of pictures of him in Hollywood Elite of the Day from his time running the Hollywood territory. He's noticing how big Bill is. Leroy says to Watts, "Well, I heard you had a rough night out there tonight." And Bill's like, "Yeah, Leroy, he got me on the ring post. It's a pretty good gash.
No,
Lost a lot of blood."
this is loser shit. The fact
What?
that they're doing this to kayfabe Jim, like having
Yeah,
this whole
two
conversation.
college students. Yeah,
Yeah, I
two
mean,
college students. Yeah.
That are just making like an inquiry.
Yeah, they want to run a show, and so they're gonna like, let's work them. This is
I
fun.
don't. You know, I like Watts' but come on, in a back room where nobody is. That's.
I lost a lot of blood, and the referee was worried about me and stopped it. Well, I know that's got to be disappointing for you, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Don't worry, you'll get another shot at it. Jerry and I were eating it up like vanilla ice cream and that beloved Hershey's chocolate syrup on top.
Walking tall.
I kind of thought that this was my first experience at kayfabe. Kind of. What? So then Watts looks at Jerry. What's your marketing plan? And JR goes, I can get us radio airtime for free. How are you going to do that? We're making this a public service announcement. He's there, look, and Watts smiled. He looked at Jerry. I like that Jerry, whenever he's just staring, I don't know, into the middle distance. Jerry nods. Oh, wait, not Jerry. Sorry, Leroy. He's looking to Jerry. Jerry nods. Okay. But I do feel like Watts will look to Leroy, and Leroy's always kind of... They have a back and forth kind of dynamic here.
You did. Can I digress for a second?
Sure, yeah.
Because this character, what you just described, reminds me of Paul Walter Hauser in the Naked Gun trailer. Not a lot of lines for him.
Yeah, no.
I didn't know he was in it.
Yeah.
Oh boy! And then I didn't know Cody was in it either.
Yeah.
And that was a shock.
He's playing a bartender. No, there you go. I thought he was going to play people when it was first announced. I saw comments like, "Oh, it'll be like Reggie Jackson. It'll be like he's Cody Rhodes in the thing, and there'll be like a wrestling event or something." And I was thinking, I don't think that's. I mean, Reggie Jackson, Cody. I mean, people know who Reggie Jackson is,
Right? Yeah, he's Mr. October. Come on.
So, so
You should have a Mr. April. That could be a gimmick. A guy who always,
come out of the gate hot, and then
he's always WrestleMania big time performer in the clutch.
that's Mr. WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels.
I know, but they should have made it more interesting.
There needs to be a Mr. Crown Jewel, somebody that's always at the Saudi shows up and wins.
they had that guy. Remember?
Oh, was that
Mansoor?
Braun? Is that Braun?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was Mr. Saudi. Well, there you go. So he
That's
continues
where they might
explaining.
move him up from ROH to AEW.
Yeah,
Doing
they
good.
were. They're getting TV time. Larry doesn't like it. He keeps talking about how, our fraternity is a nonprofit, so we can get this airtime and this and this. Watts leaned in. I won't stand for any of my wrestlers getting stabbed, so you provide security. And I don't want any fights before the show, so we're going to need 2 separate dressing rooms to keep our wrestlers apart.
Oh my God! What a
See, this is it.
I
Leroy
need him
chimed in.
for the heel, then the bag.
Yeah.
2 dressing rooms.
Blind Leroy chimes in. 2 dressing rooms or no deal.
No,
Watts goes on. We'll provide the card. That's 8 men and a referee. I'm not going to say who those men will be, but you'll have a good card, and we'll mention the event on our local TV show. On top of the security, you provide the venue, the ring, and an announcer, and sell the tickets. And JR just wants to say, like, yes, sir, but he can't even say that. Bill Watts just keeps on bulldozing him. You can keep the concession money for soft drinks and popcorn, and we can get 80% of the gate. You get 20, plus the first $250 comes off the top to us to pay for the ring usage and transport.
Well, then why do you say you provide the ring?
Yeah, you're getting double charged. He's
working them.
Kind of fucking you over.
Deal.
Can't have it both ways.
JR says, deal. And with a handshake across a big oak desk, my journey into wrestling was about to begin.
JR is a terrible negotiator.
In the parking lot, JR realizes we have to pay $250 to the guy who's going to give us the ring and drive the truck. It's their truck, their ring. I'm just paying them $250. Jerry, his friend, says, I know people say wrestling is fake, but did you see his head? JR goes, college age JR. Maybe some of it isn't on the up and up, but those title matches are legit.
They got the state athletic commission.
You know what would
paying
flip
the
me
state
out?
athletic commission fee?
What if
What?
it came out, around now, that the UFC's been fixed the whole time?
Nothing would change.
No, but I'm saying we would have to go back and be like, we believed it, to younger people.
Oh yeah, that's fair. That's
Yeah,
fair.
funny. I would question some of their booking decisions. I'd be like, wow, are they geniuses? We thought it was real. So they did not get the legendary Danny Hodge. JR's crush on Danny Hodge continues.
No, he did. They didn't get Bill.
Oh, they did. We did. We didn't get Bill, but we did get. Oh, I see. Bill was smart. If the show didn't do well, it must have been Hodge's fault. Nice. And this is where the crush. This is where the Danny Hodge one where it begins. He goes on about all of Hodge's achievements.
Accolades. Yeah.
Yes, accolades. And their show here, this charity show to get their image back on track after the questionable altercation with the Alpha Phi Alpha. They have 2,500 people in the school's basketball arena.
Do you think Ernie Ladd went over in the main event as part of the make good?
and JR and the fraternity have to take a picture with him. They're handing him a check to some charity.
Oh man, what? They were so bad they have to raise money to pay off reparations.
Oh no! By the way, all the police are there. He says, in a third of the law enforcement community in Oklahoma were in attendance: state police, Cherokee County sheriffs, the city police, and then people that work in the department for the university. So he talks about that the large crowd was due to that. He wrote the copy for the advertisement. He voiced over the spots. He delivered the ads to the radio stations. So they did it again. They did a second fundraiser. Bill this time booked himself in the main event. And they sold out again. Bill, thinking that he was going to work over a couple marks, goes to Jim and goes, I don't understand this. How are you making this work? And then so JR goes well, I'm just going to radio stations and playing advertisements. I got to get ready for my match. We'll talk about this when the show's over. It was Hodge had put in about 30 minutes of mostly chain wrestling and technical battles of holds in his main event. Watts' main event only lasted about 10 minutes, a high-impact affair. Watts says to him after the match to explain why he only went out there for 10 minutes. Heavyweights didn't need to go that long except for special occasions.
I'm not working that hard.
I was giving you a deal with 80-20.
He kind of susses out, JR susses out that he was just doing stuff that other promoters were not doing, like radio promotion. Bill and Leroy weren't even doing that in Tulsa, which was their flagship city. So Cowboy says to JR, when you get out of here, college, if you decide you want a job, I'll have one waiting for you. So JR's close to graduating. He has a semester left of classes. And then he was going to do a second semester as a student teacher, and then he'd be done. Instead, he just leaves the school. He's like, I'm doing it. I'm joining with Bill here. There were no benefits. I was going to make $125 a week as an independent contractor. And then he drops, I was married, and we had very little money. They lived in a small rented house, paycheck to paycheck. And he was had 3 jobs.
You're really glossing things over here.
Yeah.
Oh, Jim?
Yeah, he's married.
Yeah.
And he's got kids.
No, I make a note of it. In a little bit here as we go further, about every chapter starts off with, it's been a few years. Major life has occurred to Jim. Life events have occurred to Jim, and he's not written about it at all. It's just like on to the next thing. They'll get a sentence. Back to these very kind of quaint wrestling stories. He's
That's
20
the same
years
as
old.
what Jim's making is $862 a week. So not terrible.
You think, remember the OVW Netflix thing? The guy who was like going to the comic book shops and like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
how much do you think he got? 862 a week?
No, remember they were threatening to take away his pay altogether. So I highly doubt it.
Okay, so JR is at least a little bit higher up than that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they couldn't pay the guy that was that guy is very that guy must have read JR's book and was just like, this is me, because he's a guy, he's running around the office trying to do all he can. He's shooting videos for him. He's making a poster. Yeah, he's doing all the graphic design on the website. That guy was just he's announcing. Yeah, then they were going to just not pay him and treat him like an intern.
And JR's starting at $50,000 a year.
Okay. Good for Jim.
So part 2, Mid-South. Here we go. This is going to cover 74 to 85. It's 1974 and he's starting. I don't know if I believe this story. Sure.
Okay.
It's 1974. Hey, kid, is my wife still a fat bastard? Leroy McGuirk was looking straight in his wife's direction, but couldn't see her.
Leroy McGuirk.
His wife had just walked into the room unannounced and had heard this. And this makes JR believe that, yes, Leroy McGuirk is in fact blind. I said, goddamn, is my wife still a fat bastard or not? I sheepishly looked at Mrs. McGuirk. I'm right here, Leroy, she said. She leaves the room in embarrassment. JR is Leroy McGuirk's assistant.
So what was all that about?
This is him starting with the company.
Yeah, but what's Leroy talking about?
He wants to know if he married a fat bastard of a woman.
Okay.
And JR says that Leroy, he looked troubled, hugely disappointed. I was like, how? He's wearing sunglasses. How are you getting this from him? You should have told me that fat bastard was standing there. Can you hear me? Do you hear me?
It's interesting. I've never heard of a woman be referred to as a bastard before.
Yeah. Huh. The old timers would remind Jim often, again and again, how lucky he was to be in their world. I wrote lame. He is Leroy's official note taker in the booking meetings. And he discovers that why Leroy is blind, partially for one reason, is that he lost sight in one eye as a child before, and then a car accident blinded his other eye. Watts doesn't believe one of the stories. He lost his good eye in a bar fight. Okay.
It should be said that
Leroy
Bill Watts also has another specious claim. He claims Fritz was home at the time Jackie Jr. died. And he's the one who told him to go outside and get your bicycle out of the rain. And that's when the lightning struck the kid.
Oh my gosh.
Only
Get your bicycle
only
from
Bill
out of
has
the
that
rain.
story, though. No one else places Fritz at home at all.
Yeah. Is Bill kind of like a proto Jesse, where he's like, I know the real story on various wrestlers and their the trouble.
Bill's just a patriot. He don't ask no quarter and he don't take no quarter.
Yeah. Between you and me, there's no. I don't take.
Or is it give no quarter?
Between you and me, I don't give no quarter. Also, did you hear that Leroy lost one of those good eyes in a bar fight? That's Bill and Leroy are routinely butting heads. They had different theories on how to make money in the wrestling business. McGuirk was the figurehead with enough clout to make changes to a card. Brilliant when sober. He had base theories of good versus evil, building personal issues, keeping a strong value on the territory's titles, and not insulting the audience. Behind the smoke and the liquor breath, Leroy was an extremely smart man. And then you have Bill, who had a magnificent eye for talent.
Leroy would be 64 right now in this story, so that's
Yeah.
he should be retired.
Where's he gonna go?
Again, he has to keep feeding his fat bastard of a wife.
Yeah. I just the amount of times I think about Johnny Sack's wife. It's that
Yes.
situation. Leroy's going home. He can't see the candy, but he can hear the candy wrappers crinkling. He's going, "What are you doing?" Bill had a magnificent eye for talent. Well, it couldn't be Leroy. He's gonna have to take your word on it if you know, like you can't scout. Hold on. Yeah. Let's see.
Leroy talent.
So this is
Yeah.
how Watts. Yes, this is how Watts describes JR's job with Leroy. You're going to pick up Mr. McGuirk in the morning. You're going to bring him to the office. You're going to run errands for whatever he needs. Help him out around the office. Then take him home. And what Leroy needs first is a El Producto Presidente cigar.
So
and a pint.
JR is like
Yes.
Bobby Bacala. Working for Junior.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Try a salad. So Leroy needs a cigar and a pint of whiskey. That's first things first. Get that going. And every other Tuesday, you'll be responsible for getting him to Shreveport for TV. He also needed to make sure on TV days that Leroy's coat was buttoned and his fly was zipped, that he's wearing the right shirt with the right pants.
This really needs to be like a dramatized TV series.
Yeah. Like that thing we read where the guy was like, you know who should play JR? Eric Stone Street. He had the right of it. Shreveport is 330 miles away from Tulsa. So they're driving several hours in Leroy's Cadillac. The level of conversation depended largely on Leroy's mood and how much he'd been drinking. Most of the times he's angry with one of the wrestlers or one of their wives or one of the office quote-unquote stooges. Sometimes he was mad with Bill, and he'd have to listen to him bitch about Bill for 5 hours. Quote, 5 miserable hours. I'm just realizing now that Bill Watts really took a liking to JR, and JR had that fraternity mishap that he just doesn't. I'm not saying. I'm just curious. I really want to know what the mishap was that made the school paper.
I mean, it can't be great if they're...
Did Bill Watts
Again.
think it was funny or like it when JR probably told him?
I got a job waiting for you.
How did Bill Watts talk about the fraternity? That was the one causing all the trouble.
He,
stirring
at
up
the
trouble.
least, called them colored. I think we can say that.
Yeah, probably. He probably has some idea on why they got upset. And
It was definitely
theories.
outside of the bounds of normal trash talking. Again, this is flag football.
And JR is like, no, it's just competitive spirit. That's all it is, Dean.
This jocular humor.
We all
Boys
just want to
being
win.
boys.
It's the fact that it was off the field, and he keeps going. It was just we wanted to win that trophy so bad, but then that spirit spilled outside of the game. Ugh. So he'd be hollering about booking decisions, raging about his underlings, and inebriated rants. Did I tell you what we're going to do when we get to Shreveport tonight? He asks one time. And he shows JR that he has a leather satchel. And he's got his alcohol in there. He's got his smokes in there. And he also has a .44 Magnum revolver. We're going to go into Shreveport tonight. And we're going to kill Ted DiBiase. And JR's like, okay. Why are we going to do that? Haven't you heard he's dating my daughter? And that's a rule, is that nobody should date. What was her name?
Mike.
Mike McGuirk.
Yeah, I didn't know a DiBiase had a dalliance with her.
I guess.
Yeah, I didn't either.
So JR's thinking about this and thinking about this is a blind man with a gun. And he says, how are you going to kill him? And he says, he reiterates, we are going to kill him. And he's drinking his whiskey and he says, we check into the Alamo Plaza as usual when we get to Shreveport. You get me to my room. Sit me in a chair facing the front door. Leave the door cracked open a little.
Couldn't you just grab the
nodding.
gun and place it out of reach of him?
But like I said in the Discord, what if he's got like Matt Murdock level sonar capabilities, the Daredevil?
I was going to
Where,
suggest that
that's how he's
for
calling
his talent
wrestling.
evaluation, where he can hear the
Yeah.
bumps. And if a guy takes a clean bump, he can hear it.
Yeah. Oh, the snap of you can hear the snap of that clothesline. You zoom in on his ears. It kind of twitches.
Well, I
and you
picture
can
him
see it,
being like Woody Harrelson in Kingpin. Remember when he just hears the Amish guy throw a strike?
Yes. Yeah. Or they do that in The Hustler with the pool ball or Color Money when he's listening to a guy, Tom Cruise hitting the pool balls. You hear the snap on that? But yeah, and then did you ever see the Ben Affleck Daredevil, where it starts raining and then he can like see the because he sees sounds and then he can, because of the raindrops dropping on her, he sees her like in raindrop form. But if Leroy maybe can kind of get that kind of the sonar pinging off of things like a bat, he can see objects. But his plan is, so he's sitting in a chair facing the door. The door's cracked open. JR says, I nodded even though he couldn't see me. You point my gun hand. Point it in the right direction. You tell then you leave. You tell DiBiase that I want to see him. You tell him it's because I have a great idea for him. So he's like, JR is like, okay. So then he, I guess, assumes that Ted DiBiase is going to be like, yeah, Leroy. And then that's when Leroy starts shooting. When he hears the guy, somebody come through the door, and hope for the law of averages. So JR's like, yep, understood. Let's see. Leroy always wore J. Mar Sansa slacks. Double knit polyester pants with an elastic waistband and a size bigger than he needed for comfort.
Just like LBJ.
So yep. So Leroy's sitting there. Leroy has.
That's one of the greatest pieces of audio of all time.
JR's watching him smoke the cigar, and he's watching the ash because usually he flicks it into an old coffee can, but this time, or he would tell JR, would be like, "Hey, your ash is getting long, flick it," or something. Now he's just obsessed with the gun. He's not paying attention, and the ash falls into Leroy's pants. What the fuck? Leroy screamed as he leaped suddenly. And then JR's like, whoa, 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 whoa. He's swerving the Cadillac around. They hop out of the car. He says his pants are burning. There's smoke. Do something for the love of God. My balls, Jim, they're burning. I began to lightly blow at first, like they were birthday candles. Did you just try to blow out? No, I lied. So Leroy is like tired of waiting around for JR to figure out how to get the ashes to stop burning him. So he starts thrusting his pelvic bone into the air. And JR prays that a state trooper doesn't come by saying this as he's, on his knees,
Get arrested for obscenity.
Couldn't Leroy just put his legs together and roll on his stomach?
How does he know where the ground is other than under his feet? He can roll into the road.
Well, they got out. They got out.
I think JR let him out of the car. Maybe pulled
I
him
know,
out.
but
He
I'm saying,
just
why
says
can't
that
he put this out himself now?
Well, he can't see. He's going to be. He tries to. He can't. He's going to swing and miss. I guess
I'm
that's his
saying, couldn't
assumption.
he just roll onto his stomach?
I think he's scared. Well, how far is the ground?
He's on the ground.
He doesn't even know how tall he is.
He's thrusting his pelvis upward. He's on the ground.
This is a hard 62. I don't know if he's got the facilities to.
Yeah, he's drunk too.
Okay, all right.
So JR comes up with an idea. I slap my boss repeatedly in the balls. Is it working? I shouted. I don't know why. He was blind, not deaf. And then Sheriff says, I was into it now. Totally on board with the nut touching. And then finally, we snuffed out the source of the scorching without any permanent scar tissue. There was a silence between us, a knowing. They get back in the car. Jared says, everything okay? He goes, yep. So, Bill, this happens fairly frequently, I guess, because Bill has a code name for the office that if you have any trouble on the road, this is what you do. So you call the office. Collect call to the office was Gene Knitsky. Knitsky? Knitsky?
Knitsky.
Yeah.
Knitsky.
Yeah.
Knitsky.
You got it.
Yeah. That meant it was a serious call. He calls, he gets Knitsky, gets Bill on the phone, and says, your partner and I are on our way to Shreveport to kill Ted DiBiase. What? Yeah, Leroy's drunk. He's got a 44 Magnum. He's worked out how to kill Ted and make me an accomplice. Bill starts laughing. What does he say? When he's close to passing out from the whiskey, just get him to the hotel and get him into bed. I'll be down there soon. So that's what he does. He babysits Leroy McGuirk. Refereeing, 1974. Beg. Ugh. Bill pegged the cost of my services at $125 a week. Bill liked how nothing that was said in their meetings got out of the office. I can rely on your discretion, which was in dangerously short supply in the wrestling business. Leo Voss, a referee, could see that integrity in me too. Leo warns JR that if Leroy or Bill find out that anything gets out from the meeting and they figure out it's JR, they'll fire him. The boys will try and do anything for that information in the booking meetings. They'll ply you with liquor. They'll try to get you laid. They'll buy your meals, whatever they think it'll take to entice you to reveal booking secrets. And also know, most of them are con men, lousy, no-good bastards. So JR keeps his mouth shut. Then Leo would try to get information from him and then go, you can't trust me either, kid. Okay. He feels like he's being schooled by Bill in the School of Promotional Psychology. Approach every match with the same decorum and seriousness that you use in those football games you officiate. The wrestlers aren't going to treat you any differently than those players. They're not going to abuse you, and they're not going to make a mockery of you because you represent the integrity of this organization. You see, Jim's going to be a ref. Anything, Larry, before I move on? He kind of talks a little bit about our interests lie in the fans hating our bad guys. My first match as a referee It was Mike George versus Memphis veteran Henry Treach Phillips. Hey, somebody in the office says, "Hey kid, you know you're doing a 10-minute Broadway?" JR says, okay." He doesn't know what
It's
Broadway
fucking
means.
cake for a ref. You don't even got to count. You know what I mean? You don't got to know where the pin's coming.
Yeah. Yeah, you fucking that's just a stamina test.
Now I can't remember, but I was in Ben Peller's book that gets brought up. Somebody goes, "What's a Broadway?" But in that one, it was not what it is. It was like it's a shizoot match. It was something goofy. We called it out. Like, no, that is not what a
What
Broadway.
book was that in?
Living the Gimmick,
Oh,
book
okay.
1. They're talking carny with each other, and somebody says, "You're going Broadway." Somebody says, "What's a Broadway?" And then somebody gives us some odd answer. Like,
Okay.
So JR asked the ref,
Was that in
Leo,
the episode
a
you
Broadway is
listened
one of
to? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Makes
3. Episode 3. For all you, the one old head out there. A Broadway is when a match goes to a time limit draw. So Bill hears the JR's wandering around going, "Does anybody know what a Broadway means?" And he goes to Leo and he goes, "Take the kid and explain how this works." And Leo says, "Referee like it's a shoot, like a real contest. Watch for rule violations and make sure you're in position to see both shoulders during a pin attempt." And so he says, let Bill deal with it. If anybody doesn't, follow the rules, Bill will deal with it. But you got to keep the rules, and it's their job to, and see what to call and call what you see, just like real life. JR says his first match went okay. He was out of position in places and nervous as hell. He just kept asking for more advice. Then he goes, it cuts to a piece of dialogue. "Show me how you count." It's Harley Race. Harley Race and Dory Funk Jr. were warming up. Dory was off in a corner doing push-ups. Harley was sitting on a bench smoking a Marlboro. Race and Funk were going to do a 1-hour Broadway. "Show me how you count." So JR gets on his knees and slaps his hands 3 times on the floor. Harley took a drag. "And you count that way every time?" "Yes, sir." "Just make sure you count at that same cadence every time." "Yes, sir." "Anything else?" "Yes. If you see me cheat, make me break. If you don't see it, then don't let the audience officiate for you. Remember, they're gonna see me cheat, because my goal is only to keep you from seeing me, not them." So in the match,
Sure.
in the match, he'd catch him cheating, and Harley would mumble, "Come on, now give it to me, give it to me."
It's a
And
good.
then JR's
It's a
pointing
good
his
explanation
finger
of a trope that you don't think about, but he's right. You know what I mean? When you're working that heat spot, the ref doesn't respond to the fans saying, "Hey, he's cheating," and that's what spurs me on to cheer more if we get into the psychology of it here.
He's right. And the amount of times JR starts reiterating or saying, "Then this old vet told me this and this," and how much JR really fetishizes the going under the learning tree or doing this mobile school. JR, how many times can you hear the same thing over and over?
I don't know.
Many of these things he keeps kind of.
I was going to say at the same time, I feel like Harley saying it that way is something that probably takes 6 weeks at the Performance Center to get.
I mean,
JR would agree with you.
Probably printouts you get on, PowerPoints.
I can't imagine. Yeah. Well, was that somebody brought up, and then I don't know if they ever got over it, but somebody said if you watch NXT, a lot of times you'll see people. They don't know if that's how. Oh, it came out that somebody had to reach out to, I think, Alvarez, and was like, "That's not what we teach them." Maybe somebody might not have been Alvarez, but it was assumed they must teach them like this because what was happening was that they had a bunch of, I think it was maybe the women were starting to kick out well before the, like, what was it? Oh no, the person's picking them up. They're not doing the kick out themselves. They're picking them up and going on to the next thing.
Okay.
Instead of doing and so it was starting to get noticed that everybody had the habit of doing that. I explained this perfectly. So Harley knew that the referee is to accentuate the match. Others were not so generous, tried to use the referee to take from the match, and here's his example. Jerry the Duke Miller, a veteran villain out of Moline, Illinois. He was an old-school, carny sort of wrestler, always looking for shortcuts in life. He's also known as a carpenter in the business. He had the skill to build another wrestler into a main event player.
He's a carpenter, by God.
JR gets into a little bit of kink shaming here. He's also a little bit of a freak with the ladies. He carried a wide assortment of vibrators and dildos with him in his
Why
wrestling
you gotta
bag.
do that to him?
Why are you putting,
The Duke.
Yeah.
putting him on blast like that? Come on.
Does that mean anytime JR sees sex toys, he's like, oh, that's like that freak, Jerry the Duke Miller. That deviant. Jerry's got his deviant bag over there.
Unless the Duke is out there like making it everybody's business to know, then that's kind of, uncoif as well.
I thought he had an assortment of vibrators and dildos. Maybe he explained to JR there's a difference. When he was like, what, you got a bunch of dildos? He's like, no, some of these are vibrators. And he turns them on. See?
Thank you.
These toys are so important to the Duke that they had their own bag within his gear bag. See?
Gears and gimmicks.
And then JR throws in, he was also a hairdresser. Not a barber, but a stylist.
There's a difference.
Jerry knew everything about conditioners and coloring. And he thinks he was quite possibly the first man in all of wrestling to have a mullet. When he wanted to wrestle, he was actually very good. But when he didn't, he was savvy enough to take the shortcuts and make others look bad, i.e. me. So, the Duke is out there, and he's getting counted out by Jim. And he's getting up to 19. And so JR just starts saying 19 again. And he's kind of acting like he's being distracted by stuff around the ring because Jerry's just not getting in the ring. And this makes JR look at fault. JR looks weak. But Danny Hodge, JR's hero, is in the match. And he could see that the audience was getting the wrong kind of pissed. And now the Duke is potentially taking money from Danny Hodge's future payoffs. Stand aside, Tiger. Hodge goes outside and brings him back in. And he thinks about Hodge's hand strength. I had personally seen Hodge break pliers and turn whole apples into pulp with his legendary grip strength. Dave's nodding, taking a mental note to bring this up, and a future observer randomly.
Danny Hodge.
Yeah.
Grip strength.
Yeah. Dave does that. He takes these little things. Yeah, and he'll be like, he turned whole apples into pulp. It's like, where did you hear that, Dave? Hodge applies a legitimate double wrist lock to subdue the Duke. So they go home. They get to the back. And Danny says, "Don't ever jack around on my watch again.
Jack around.
Don't ever do anything that could mess with my money again either." And Danny puts a hand on his shoulder. "And don't ever let me see you middling the ref again either. There's no money in that." Jerry, the Duke Miller, says, "You're right, I'm sorry." And they shake hands. I handed the Duke his bag of sex toys and he left. And he's like, in JR's memory, he's massaging his hand from the handshake. Ooh. He wanted, and JR in that moment is really, really obsessed with Danny Hodge. And he
What
wants
was the problem?
his handshake to have the same power. Jerry was just dicking around and wasn't getting the ring and just like working JR.
Oh, making JR.
look
Okay,
like a fool.
okay. I got it.
Clowning around with the new guy. You know, he's counting them out and he's not getting back in even after he gets to 19. It's 1975. He's trying to find ways to make more money. So he begins hauling the ring and set it up. That gets him an extra $50. Now
His wife and child are again.
Yeah. At home.
How they doing?
It's later revealed that nobody was thrilled with the wrestling plan.
I got extra $50 for driving and setting up the truck. Nope, no health insurance yet, but
So now he figures out he can also drive the boys. The boys will pay young guys 2 cents a mile to drive them. Full tank of gas is $5. A hotel room is $8. The wrestlers know every $2.99 all-you-can-eat buffet. I could rack up an extra $30 per wrestler just running the 1,500 miles. That was a pretty good little bonus for being a wheelman. And I wrote, "Is it?" And I was trying to do the math. Like, is it? Sounds like you're just scraping by
factor
again.
in all the free advice you're getting.
Yes, priceless. Yep, every car trip was a potential learning experience. Absolutely correct, God. That's what he writes. And that's where I wrote, "How many times do you got to be told these conversations? I learned how to carry myself around champions and con men. I learned about life. I also learned how to roll the world's best joints while steering a car with my knees. I had to drive well and roll even better. He's not smoking it yet. He's getting contact high. I rolled enough bones to get pretty damn great at it." And then on his day off on Sundays, he uses that to clean his car. Between the farts, the food wrappers, the marijuana smoke, and the spilt booze, it smelled like the unscrubbed armpit of a long dead farm animal. One of the people in his car frequently was Treach Phillips. Treach Phillips is back. Where was Treach from before? What do we know of Treach from? He says
He was in last week. Or no, he couldn't have been.
Treach showed up.
He couldn't have been. Hang on.
He says Treach was his antipathy toward me didn't stop Treach from jumping. I remember. I must have skipped over it.
Well,
or
I can
something.
search.
Can't
Sorry.
remember.
Yeah, I don't know why that sounds
Okay.
like we talked about him already, but I can't remember either.
Treach needed a 6-pack after every single show. And he did not ask like the others. He demanded. He also refused to pay me for the trip. This is where
Oh,
like,
it was his
Jared
first
going, like, I
his
can make all
first
this
match.
extra
It was Treach versus Mike George.
Well, all right.
Wow.
So that's one of JR's I guess not making money when he hangs out with Treach. Treach just is like, I'm not paying you, and he's driving him anyway. So there you go. All this extra money making is very contingent on JR actually following through with like people that would pay him. And Treach says, "You're Leroy's guy." Leroy says, "I don't need to pay you." So he asks, they're driving along in silence, and Treach says, "I need a drink." He's finished all his beer. And so JR drives him to a Dairy Queen. Wah, wah. Well, you told me you wanted something to drink. Beer, goddammit. Wrestlers drink beer. Wrestlers don't drink milkshakes.
They do nowadays.
Yeah. Well, JR says, that's funny because Danny Hodge drinks a milkshake just about every trip we go on.
JR, shut the fuck up.
And JR goes and gets a shake. And Treach doesn't drive with him anymore. So, who does love driving with? Danny Hodge and Jim Skandor Akbar Weeba. Danny likes an occasional Mai Tai or some other fruit drink.
Skandor Akbar definitely is the guy who goes to the hotel buffet that he didn't stay at the night prior.
Yeah. They do teach him how to be thrifty, I believe these two do.
Well, Akbar, I believe, was dating the woman who owned the apartment complex where everyone lived in Minnesota. So he worked himself into that.
Yeah, because Larry Nelson. He's thinking about how Hodge lost the World Junior Heavyweight Championship to the villainous hero Matsuda.
You know what? I'm wrong about that. That's Al Casey.
I was just going to say it's one of the.
Because Akbar
guys,
is the guy who's actually just from Texas. He's not a real. Yeah, he's not a real Middle Eastern person. I think he's a Polish guy from Texas. So I will rescind what I said about.
So JR says years later, he would meet Hiro Matsuda. He was one of the nicest men in the business.
You gotta go potty, bud?
And I did right when he's not breaking bones in front of Hogan. Stretching Hogan.
Yeah,
right? Was that Hiro that trained him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's nice. Not when he's in Hogan's huffing and puffing, being nervous about Hiro stretching him.
But he didn't really.
No. What did we see? And then there's Mick Foley watching Steve Austin, and then there's Brett watching from staring outside of his, the Hart House. Let's see. Hodge says people in this business like to cheat even when there's no reason. I'm talking inside and outside of the ring. So JR's tired. He asked Danny if he wants to take over, or Danny kind of pushes for it. JR's like, "Wow, wrestler wants to drive for once." Okay. Danny gets him to go in the back seat, take a nap.
And then Danny, his hands tear the wheel from the steering column just when he tries to turn.
Yeah. Yeah, he goes to put it into drive, and it crumbles into dust, the stick shift. It would be miserable. You go to reach for the door handle comes off, or the whole door itself. You can't even get it out of your grip. You're shaking it. So he wakes up to the car going off the side of the road, and Danny's asleep. Danny Hodge, and he's going, "Whoa!" JR about pees himself, so they switch. So Danny's never driving again. That's what JR decides. And yes, as Gus was saying, JR feels like this is almost like an Ivy League university, the amount of knowledge he's getting. They taught him how to save money, old Akbar and Hodge. And part of him saving money, JR, is that they would get a room with 2 beds, and then JR would sleep on the floor.
Fucking have some self-respect, man.
They're like,
You're a husband and father.
they're like, Daddy Hodge is like, you want to make sure you save money, so we're gonna
And
get
he's not
2
making
beds.
bad money.
You should sleep on the floor.
So
You should sleep on the floor. Also, he is the remote control and the errand boy. Now, what does the remote control mean? If they got bored with what they were watching, or they would be done with the TV show, they'd say "kid," and he'd get up and turn the channel or turn it off.
Okay.
Do the hotels not have a remote control, or do they just like
Not the ones they're staying at.
like
budget
Guess
motel.
and then whatever they wanted, he'd run out and get it. They taught him to don't use the self-service at the gas station. Do it yourself. Oh boy. Yes. Let's see. Oh, and also JR's not eating. So if he could get any kind of like scraps from Hodge or Akbar or at the show or something like that, that was a win, because he's not eating either. Because of he has no money. I guess he's just sending it all back home. He's trying, Gus. I don't know. He's they were living paycheck to paycheck, so I'm hoping he's just sending everything home and just not eating.
I
and
mean, I
sleeping
call
on the
this
floor
all.
out on
I
the
don't
road.
know. We've had this conversation with Mick, and I'm not a saving money kind of guy, but JR's going to work till his death anyways. So what is all the saving money for? You know what I mean?
Have we talked about Jay Leno?
Yes,
Doesn't touch the Tonight Show money. It's all still there for his non-children to inherit. I don't know what this is for or why to do this. I think there's something that with the people that consider themselves thrifty, you also have to brag about it a little bit.
Well, you have to justify the nonsensical sacrifice.
Yeah. I can't have my money isn't real conversation with somebody that's thrifty. It's very real to them, and it's finite. Little did the fans know that the personalities they saw on TV every week had so little disposable income, they were simply trying to get to the next meal, cheap hotel room, or tank of gas. Great business, I wrote. And then I thought about how Stephanie used to. Then when the wrestlers were actually making millions of dollars, they would still have Stephanie McMahon come out and act like they're poor. And if they don't work in the WWE, they're going to be in the bread line, doing God knows what. So let's see. What does he say? We're saying that a rookie can never win against. Oh, he's playing poker. Is this where he's playing poker? Oh yeah, he wants to make extra money by playing poker against the boys, and he was like, and he's advised that this is a bad idea. There's Bruiser Bob Sweeten, a skilled Canadian villain who liked to be called Mr. Piledriver because he loved that move. He was not nice.
Mr. Pile Driver.
And I couldn't tell. Does that mean he, man to man, he was like, please call me Mr. Piledriver? I love that move. Or does Jared just mean like out in the wrestling ring? He says the way it's worded, I just, his love, he liked to be referred to. JR also admits that he just wants to be accepted by the boys, so that's also why he wants to play poker with them, and because Danny wasn't around, JR's bodyguard, Danny Hodge, Sweeten cheated and took 2 days worth of payoffs from him, all with a smile on his face. So I guess JR is saying that Sweeten was like what, dealing from under the deck. The next, then Bruiser Bob. Bruiser Bob. So wait, Mr. Pile Driver. So he gets 2 nicknames, Mr. Pile Driver, Bruiser Bob Sweeten, or he wants to be called Mr. Just make your name Mr. Pile Driver. Leave the Bruiser out of it. Bruiser is also not in quotations, so that could be like that's just his first name. Bruiser Bob wasn't happy. Let's see.
Mr. Pile Driver.
Bob Pile Driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robert Pile Driver.
Please, yeah, my dad. My dad was Mr.
Yeah.
Pile Driver. Please call
me Bob.
Call me Bob. Well, now he's taking liberties with Jim in the ring. I don't know. This guy's got him on him. He's taking Jim's money. He's cheating at poker, stealing money from him, and now he's beating the shit out of him in the ring. He accidentally busts JR's nose with a stray elbow. He gives him a black eye with another accidental strike. And so Akbar's looking at him. And he goes, why don't you take a nap and I'll drive? And he wakes up and Ak's driving off the road. And Akbar could see I wasn't amused. Oh, did Dan already use this rib on you? And they're like, huh? What? And then he goes, wait a minute. The reality began to dawn on me.
Yeah.
They were ribbing him. Yeah, Akbar says, yeah, he doesn't like to drive at night. There you go. And then JR has one of the worst paragraphs we've read. I think it's up.
It's like such a self-defeating rib. Yeah. You know what I mean? Especially if something goes wrong. You know what I mean? To the person who's trying to do it.
I guess to act like you're asleep.
Reminds
me. What if the guy doesn't wake up?
It reminds me. I think it's in the sleep thread. I think Cornette has confirmed it. It might have been the Australians, the sheep herders, but it involved one having the other one's dick in their mouth in order to rib somebody else. And it's like, at that point, who are we ribbing? Like,
what is it? Wait, what book did we read where that was?
Yeah, it might have been a book.
Like
it's
happened?
A known story, but it's just one of those.
Well, what did we see where it was like the guy was like, was it Brett's book maybe? Somebody starts sexually assault. Wasn't it one of the? Who did we read that they were talking about? They were riding together, and they wanted to stop being in the car. The guy was like testing them. Pat was also testing them.
That was it Kern?
No, it was in a book because Kern. Yes, Kern starts saying that they were doing grabbing. Somebody was playing grab ass in the car. You know, and he kept no selling it or whatever. You know. And yeah, they were doing the oh, we're not gay, but if we were, I mean, does that change anything? Oh, it was the thought he was getting it was the Booker. What was the guy's name? Oh, you know the guy.
Jimmy Barnett.
Yeah, he was trying stuff too. Yeah. And then, yeah, JR writes this paragraph where he's like, anyways, here he goes. Where also, it turns out that this Danny, you know, stood up for me against Sweeten. And also, it turned out that he really got him good. And also, anyways, Behind the Mic, 1975. We can get through this. It breaks Jim's heart, but he's got to go back to his hometown. Population 800. He's not making a living with wrestling. he could do all the stuff, and he lists all the stuff he was doing if he was single, driving, hauling rings, changing channels. He puts that in there. Working in the office, refereeing, looking after Leroy. But he has a wife and a child on the way. And I was like, oh, another life event that we've just... would have loved to hear about all this, but nope. I guess to be fair, it is my life in wrestling. It's not, you don't get access to his whole life. And JR's kind of private. So at the Shreveport taping, there was a mix-up. You think you can handle this? And I wrote, is JR visiting? I thought he was out of the business now.
Wait, why is he out of the business?
He had to move back to his hometown. He said, it broke my heart, but I moved back to my hometown.
Oh, I see.
Just,
Gosh, okay.
I just didn't know where it fit in the larger picture.
Chapter.
We were alone in the corner
it.
of a small TV studio. JR says, absolutely. Go and buy yourself some TV clothes. The lack of communication between KTBS and the office led to neither telling the other that the regular TV announcer, Reeser Bowden, was going to be on vacation for that taping. So Bill's going to try out JR. He goes to Dillard's. He buys a blue blazer, a light blue shirt, and a red tie. Because that's what he saw TV weathermen wearing for $50. It's a 1 hour, 5 commercial break, 6 match show, all squash bouts matches. They were the 75 people in the studio. They came to the same tapings and sat in the same seats. They are proto NXT mutants. JR makes it back in the building. This Bill is about to shine here. You want to know the number one rule to making money in the wrestling business? Are you ready for this? Strap in. The money is in the vertical depth of the roster, unless it's in the horizontal depth. Horizontal depth is where your show features a lot of tag teams or guys who always have to work together. That can make money too. But if you stack that one single match with everything you have and the fans aren't interested, they're not going to pay to see your show. So there's no money there. Unless you have a hot team or faction. Then you make money. Understand, Jimbo? JR,
Yes, sir.
JR is not. He's nodding. But vertical depth in your roster means that you have a show with 5 or 6 different potential attractions. That's where the money is. Because you can present a singles main event with 2 top guys. But if a fan isn't crazy about seeing that match, there are 4 other things on the card that might compel them to buy a ticket.
I think Bill definitely has been to a leadership seminar.
He's picked up vertical and horizontal depth.
Christian leadership seminar.
Is the depth for tag teams horizontal because it's 2 guys standing side by side, and so
Yes.
Okay. Don't
you understand?
I had a question for you guys. If we are following Bill Watts is the number one rule in making money in the wrestling business, who right now between Paul Levesque and Tony Khan are most adhering to this? The vertical depth and the horizontal depth.
They don't have enough matches for you to judge.
Well, Paul definitely is, and he's definitely not even booking 6 matches in an hour.
2 might be women's matches, so that's very hard to say.
I'm going to give it to Tony Khan. He's got to have something for everybody going on. He's going to build it to us two top guys in the singles match
He
at the
doesn't,
top.
though. He does the vertical depth. He's going to have 3 big
What are you
matches on each card.
He's got the vertical. But he also has the booking thing that I think is
That's
a
different.
horizontal. When he showed Mark Maron and he was going this away. So JR pipes up. He's like, his Bill's like, so repeat back, you know, the money is in the vertical depth, except for when it's not. Then it is sometimes, but not all the time, especially when you have a great team or a few single attractions. JR is us. And Bill goes, sometimes. All that horizontal and vertical depth ideas are just general guidelines. I've lived through periods where multiple tag team feuds were the main attractions. The only absolute rule of making money in pro wrestling is this. If it's drawing money, it's a good idea. And I wrote, the Bucks win again. Even Bill Watts endorses them. And then I also did think about when he said about the tag. I've lived through, you know, periods where tag teams were the top main attractions. I thought of the Workers Club Discord lore of tag teams don't draw.
Who said that?
And that was somebody that used to be in the Discord but wanted to die on that hill.
Okay.
Out of Young Bucks hate, I think, no less. Are you tag teams don't draw? Going to the cert. I don't. When you leave a Discord, does it keep your comments?
Yeah, but it doesn't say
Can't
who they're
remember.
by.
JR says he was totally lost. And Bill reads this on his face that JR looks out to see. Jimbo, you look like you don't know whether to scratch your watch or wind your ass. So I chuckled. I wrote 2 points for Bill. It's a good little line. Bill says, Jimbo, just make sure you create opportunities for Leroy to contribute. Make sure to plug our upcoming shows. And he goes into what the announcer's job is to play up the athletic ability and credentials of an enhancement wrestler. Then it means something when the stars squash them, play up the star in the ring.
I don't know. I see a quote
And
right
also,
here.
and it's
April 20th, 2022. Tag team wrestling doesn't draw. Who do you think said it? Gus said it.
I know who said it.
Yeah, no, it is.
No, it wasn't Gus. It wasn't Gus.
If I said
Yeah,
that,
No,
they
it
would
might have been
been-
mocking.
I'm
Yes.
sure. but
I'm
I'm
mocking
looking,
you.
Still looking, but go ahead.
I still don't look. This person might have been just trying to. It might have been doing a Sudi level bit of the Discord. You know, just trying to rile people up, trying to get into an argument. Really had no skin in the game.
Is it someone who doesn't see their children?
You know me. I just like. Oh, on.
Okay.
Nice, Larry.
Good enough.
He says he also has to do all this. He has to do all this announcing in explicit enough fashion that Leroy McGuirk, the show's blind color commentator, could visualize it well enough to tag in every now and then. So I'd be curious to place if I could ever. I mean, Gus, have you come across any of this Leroy and JR? I would love to see it. Just
I
see
have not.
if how JR kind of lays out a match so that Leroy knows what's going on. If he changes it up at all.
Yeah, I have not heard those two together.
And then you got to build up, you know, after the squashes, you know, hey, star number 1 you saw is going to face off star number 2 soon. And so Bill says, you ready? JR nods. Yes, I am. Can I have my change? Huh? That suit didn't cost you $100. I wrote, what an ass. JR's like, he was right. He rustles into his pockets and gives him $50. Receipt, Jimbo. And he rustles in and gives him the receipt. Here's the real
Jimbo.
lesson of the day. Nickels make dimes, dimes make quarters, quarters make dollars, and dollars make what, Jimbo? Jim's just staring at him. More dollars? No. Dollars make me damned happy.
Boy.
Cool. Okay. JR pulls out his metal folding chair and he sits in front of the mic. It's not just an ordinary piece of furniture. He feels like he's behind the wheel of his very first car. There was a romance to it. He's romanticized this first time sitting down. He loved listening to the games. Remember that? The sports game when he's back at the farm, listening to sports radio, the games. I'd go to bed with the earplug between my ear and the pillow, so if his parents looked in, they didn't, they couldn't tell that he was listening to it. He'd listen to the Cardinals play on KMOX, the St. Louis AM radio station, carried all the way to Westville, listening to Jack Buck and Harry Carey. Those guys made me understand the concept of radio as the theater of the mind. Okay. JR is revealing that he also listened to radio plays, because the only people that are going to call it the theater of the mind are people doing radio plays, not these announcers here. So he's looking at his bullet points, and he wants to try and find his big call for the night. He knew he wouldn't find it, but he was looking for it because he was afraid at that moment, his first time out, he's not going to be able to feel when to make a moment big. So he's trying to pick one out on his bullet points. Somebody says, beverages on the floor, out of sight. Somebody goes, you ready? And so he dips his head, he closes his eyes, and he's going to summon up the voice of the greatest commentator he had ever heard, Gordon Soley. JR says that he watched the tape of Soley's call of Hiro Matsuda beating Danny Hodge at least 60 times in its entirety. Okay. Leo Voss would be sitting with them, explaining things to him. He loved how Soley approached the in-ring action with a subtle flair for the dramatic, never taking things to an eyeball rolling level. Well, JR never really. He eventually would become the JR everybody loves, absolutely screaming in hysteria. In college, he loved Gordon Soley's, his eloquent terms about holds and body parts. So JR took a class in college. I took I had this earlier, and I knew I was going to fumble it up.
Kinesiology.
Kinesiology, correct. Got it. The study of body movement. Just so you could sound like Gordon Soley. You think if you take that class, you'd sound like Gordon Soley?
What, just so you can say solar plexus, or you know what I mean? It's so stupid.
Yeah, you got to know the muscle, the smaller muscles.
He's trying to feed his family. He's doing what it takes.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Watts interrupts. If I wanted Gordon Soley, I would have hired Gordon Soley. Huh? Jared says what a lot. What? Be yourself. Leroy sniggered at Watts' critique. So now he's got the blind Leroy. Approach this like a sport. Don't insult the people and put the talent over. Okay. Leroy said, "You ready?" So he's thinking about all the greats, all the great moments in wrestling he's watched, all the great announcers, all the pictures, the what have you, the command of their craft. He's in a small studio in Shreveport, KTBS, and he's going to join them. And he does the 3, 2, 1, cut to. You did good, kid, Leroy said quietly. Watts walks up. Not bad, kid, not bad. You got a lot of work to do. Now get changed. You're refereeing the matches in Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge tonight. So JR's thinking, oh, he said you got work to do. That means he'll let me do it again. Maybe I found my way out of 125 a week. Maybe I found my calling. You want to keep going?
Let's just watch a
call
little
it?
video and we'll call it. I'm looking. No,
Ooh,
it's
okay.
it's
A little video.
just a minute. It's a letdown. I can't find. I'm looking for Jim Ross as referee, and I'm
Yeah, I know.
looking through like
It's
late
tough.
'70s Mid South compilations, and I can't find him. So what do I got? I didn't watch this. I just thought, what the fuck?
I've seen how long this book is.
The biggest mouth we've ever had here on Mid-South Wrestling, Jim Cornette, when he made a startling announcement. Let's listen to that now.
My impersonation's dead on.
Some very special matches are going to occur here today on Mid-South Wrestling, and I understand, Mr. Cornette, you had a meeting with Grizzly Smith, and I know you want to explain that to the ladies and gentlemen.
And I would like to modestly say that this is going to be, without doubt, the greatest day in the history of Mid-South Wrestling. You know, I am a generous individual. And I was thinking just a few moments ago.
It's crazy how
I
much
sit
his
back
voice has
week
not
after
changed.
week, time after time, and watch
Yeah.
the same
Do you
old
know?
people get all the title matches, get all the prestige and all the glory in Mid-South Wrestling. And I decided that it's time for some of the new breed, the young bloods, to get a chance at the title. So what I've done, I have signed 3 open contracts with Grizzly Smith. And we
No,
will
he
have
comes up in
3,
Jared's
not
book.
1,
What
not
is
Grizzly?
2, but 3 Mid-South Tag Team.
Did you get to that part?
Yeah. Grizz doesn't like
Minor-
Grizz is
minor
JR.
part?
Yeah. Grizz does not like JR.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's why. That's why it's always creepy when people bring them up in angles.
Yep. And JR.
Like,
has a
to,
very
to
Larry
be
Nelson,
so egregiously going for that type that people in the wrestling business
Yeah.
like pull a gun on you. Because isn't the story Harley did that or somebody did that too?
Yeah. I mean, not. I mean, yeah, maybe the story.
You know, to get these
yeah,
deadbeats
JR tells us
to be like, that's too far. It's got to be bad.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, look, we saw it with the WWF right now.
They
The
had
WWE.
no obligation.
They didn't know what was going on. What do you want them to do? How much government interference do you want? What
TV
That's
today,
good,
and
man.
of course there are a few exceptions. There always are. There are loopholes. Stagger Lee and Bill Watts. We've already sent Bill Watts back into retirement. We don't need to defend against them. Terry Taylor's hurt. He's a couple of inches shorter now than he used to be. Hacksaw, Jim Duggan, and Magnum TA. They already have to wrestle once today, so we wouldn't want to tax their heart any.
Jim is
Steve
32
Dr.
and
Death Williams, what a pity he isn't here today. The
Cornette
Rock
is
and Roll
22.
Express. They have rocks in their heads anyway. We won't defend against them, but anybody else, it doesn't matter who, anybody else will defend against here on TV today. Like I said, 3 open contracts. It's going to be great.
Mr. Cornette made that statement. Now let's go back
Yeah.
to the desk and more Mid-South.
The strategy you imagine.
I wanted them to just hold on JR's face as he stares straight ahead like they do now with announcers. They say, back to you, and then you got to hold for 10 to 15 seconds
On Caleb
and then
Braxton's
just staring at
face.
you or off into the distance. Yeah, just zoom in on JR as he just... Oh, JR. Anything else? Is everybody happy that R-Truth is back? We covered that, okay.
I'm looking forward to when Jim has power in this book. Right now, it's very middling.
Oh
to me.
yeah. He's
it's
putting
just,
a lot
you
of
know,
yes,
he's
yes.
just getting along.
He's kind of well. At one point, I write, "Oh, JR is kind of becoming an operator. He's figuring it out a little bit." Yes, yeah, he is. He's very good. Cards close to the. I'm surprised he stunk at poker, even with the guy cheating. You know, he's very cards close to the chest. I could see, and I'm not. This is not a comment on Jim's current. I could see Jim having a good poker face in general.
But like, I think JR is
very
on the
reserved.
booking committee in '89. That'll be interesting. You know what I mean, to read about. Jim Hurd stuff.
Yes.
And then when the Cowboy comes back, when the Cowboy comes back in '92, that'll be a good chapter.
I got flipping through here. I got Watts saying, "We gotta get bigger. We gotta evolve." It's like, okay,
And then I want to know what
no.
JR thinks about Bischoff getting the job over him.
That's in. Let's see. I wrote a letter, dear Vince. This is '94. I think this is one of the first times he leaves. I think Gorilla's in here. I think this is the first time Gorilla's going to show up. You want the truth?
Gino.
Is that Bobby or Gorilla? Gorilla feeling it too smiled and ushered me in. What do I have to do to let people know I'm not the enemy? You want the truth? I'm not sure. This is pretty bad. I don't know. I'm going to work on the Gorilla. That's all I know him from is doing that. Oh my god. He does have a quiet voice. How did Gorilla sound? I mean, he's just talking.
Look up
on
that
prime
bingo
time
show
or
he
whatever,
did.
you know, what
That he did a pilot for. When he's just being Bob Morella.
Yeah. And that's, I can't. He just kind of was. Let's take a look at that match.
Hang on. Okay.
Oh, here's some Jim Hurd for you.
Go ahead.
He said, you and I had dinner, I said, and then you left to go home. And I thought you did too, Hurd replied. I was on the way out the door, then Flair called me to the bar. Hurd rolled his eyes.
Yeah.
Bingo break, I'm ready.
With your hosts, Bob Morella and Karen Payne. Bingo Master Sean Mooney. The Dave Smith Five.
I don't remember Sean Mooney.
And our psychic advisor joins us.
Mike McGuirk.
Here's Bob and Karen.
My friend Monsoon. Welcome. It's Friday. You like
Why does
that?
Gorilla look confused?
What's important about it?
April Fools.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, so be very careful.
Oh.
You know, anything could happen.
Why? What are you going to do?
There isn't anybody around here with
Isn't Morella an upstate New Yorker?
Like that, right?
I feel like he's a Buffalo guy.
On bingo break for that, right?
No chance.
Yeah.
Not here.
Dave, you wouldn't do anything like that, would you?
No.
No.
Look, what an innocent face.
Rochester.
You're into the more serious stuff, right?
Yes. Hey.
Did you?
What happened?
Did you just see what happened?
Bob.
I didn't see that. What?
Somebody's messed with my glass here.
Is there a hole in it?
Dribble cup.
Yeah. I guess you missed it.
Couldn't have been old innocent days.
Folks teach you.
The Rivenham.
You don't have anything to do with this, do you, Bob?
Are you kidding?
I think there's a lot of guilty faces in this crew out here. Maybe somebody in the band. Paul, I don't trust him.
Did you notice
Paul's got his
our
dark glasses.
pal over here behind me?
Oh, he's back.
Frankie.
Why is he back again?
I don't know. He's doing something to that epic photo or painting that.
Liz doesn't bother me. I have.
Oh, we got bits here.
He's here due to a diminishing number of requests, I might add.
Do they have April Fools over in France?
Somebody's watching this. Like, just get to the bingo. God damn it.
The only one. I understand we've got a hot game, so we went, you know, let's get it going.
All righty.
That was not me, pal.
Yeah.
Why do you keep
Yeah,
saying
it couldn't
that?
have been you.
Me
No
thinks-
chance.
Get to the game.
I'm a little apprehensive today. This seems to be kind of a weird day on the set.
Let's be careful, folks.
Nothing
Nobody
more
do
weird
nothing to
than
me.
our producer, so
Let's
don't
not
worry about it.
Nobody
As I
do
try and
nothing
dry
to
off,
me.
I'm going to see what
Poor
kind of mood
thing.
Fred is in.
Did he get wet?
You think Fred knows it's April Fool's as well? Good morning, Fred. What game are we going to be playing?
Oh, the bingo has the name too.
Freddie! Gotcha!
Everybody's a winner and everybody's a comedian, and even Fred. Now, Fred,
So you'd have to get these cards mailed to you, maybe,
amusing,
and then you have
but
to
I
what
think
mail them
everybody
back in.
wants to know what game we're going to be playing.
Recall in and say
besides the
bingo.
Space game, which
How does
I mean,
this
it'd be great
work?
to Imagine how much money we'd give away.
Mm-hmm.
I think we ought to try again, Fred. What's it going to be? Well, take your time. Okay, I guess he means it's going to be any row.
What are we doing?
Today. We'll see what the computer can come up with. But folks, even though it's April Fool's
You have to
Day,
win by a
still need
row.
bingo
I feel like
break card.
Can't do
Mooney's
any other.
thinking-
You
I
can't
feel like
go
Mooney's
vertical.
thinking
You gotta
on
go
his feet
horizontal.
Go pick one.
Basics Food Centers, simply the best.
They haven't worked out the
Pharmacy,
rules.
care
They're
you
just
can
like, just
depend
riff.
on.
Doesn't matter. We'll
And
figure it out
Petco
if we get
Food Market's
ordered.
What a supermarket was meant to be.
Okay, folks, remember when you stop by one of those great locations, the cards are absolutely free. There's
Gorilla's
no
gonna come over there and like chop
Check out,
them.
make sure you've got the valid date of play, and remember the card is good for 5 days. 5 games, play a new one every day.
Like
And,
when I
we're
started
playing
chopping
any
Vader.
row today, so let's see
Do
what
you
happens when we
have
start
to use a
cranking
pencil
up
or
the popper and
something?
pulling some numbers.
5 using the same card 5 days in a row. They're making.
You know, it's
Oh
gonna be
boy.
it's gonna be one of those days.
Joel, okay.
What do you mean? What
Gorilla's doing like a guilty thing. So they're accusing Gorilla of
Yeah, I think
what?
I've got 'em all back.
Tampering with the pinball machine.
Something
The
like
hopper.
that?
The lotto ball
You
machine.
know, there's a little piece of the
Whatever
popper
they
we're missing.
A hopper.
Somebody. Who
Well,
could it be?
That's your responsibility. You're the bingo master.
Oh,
Let's
they
see
didn't
if
have the
we can
clip
get
on
this
And
top.
you
down
know
here.
anything about
No,
it,
I'm
right? Of course not.
laying dead over here in the corner.
Yeah.
All
minding
right,
my
I think
own
we ought to
business.
try it one more time, Bob. Here we go. We're going to crank up the machine and see what happens this time. Playing today here on Bingo Break. Our first number up is going to be B1.
The band is playing Freddie Freeloader by Miles Davis.
Pranksters. 061 is the next number. 061. Any row now. This could be very interesting.
Oh, boy.
From, all the columns.
Wow.
And here we
There's
have
how
it.
many
Way
more
too
minutes of
many.
this? Oh my god.
Mix 106.5 stirs up.
Well, this
the
is gonna
best
get
of the
our
70s
podcast taken
and
down.
90s.
You're right.
You're right.
Doses separated by day and prescriptions fill.
Hey, that's a work.
What's the matter, Dad?
It's a classy show.
What is the matter?
Oh no!
I don't hear anything.
Why does this taste like Gorilla's butt? Oh no, Gorilla! Oh,
That's not funny.
Bob, look at that. That's awful.
You know anything about this, Bob?
That's disgusting. That's
I'm appalled.
humiliating.
Yeah.
How do you think I feel?
Stand off the side of the set when I go to
Wow.
Well, maybe it'll work.
Gorilla messed with his
I'm going to
flute.
apologize for whoever did that, Dave.
Thank you very
I
much.
think you
it was
should.
you.
I'll take care of him too, or her,
Huh?
when I catch up to them.
Huh?
Him or her,
Oh, no.
whomever it may
No.
be.
Sean, do you know
You
anything
ready
about
for
this?
It's been a team effort.
Are you ready to do
Bob
something?
Morella
now
and the
musically? You think
Sopranos.
you can
Oh, yeah.
whack something out for us?
Oh, you're going to dance.
Twist and shout?
Preach.
Our own Dave
One of
Smith
Uncle
Bob.
Junior's
And
Yeah. Repeating himself.
Oh no.
Oh wow. What's his name from the Hogan book?
Big E, isn't it?
His name? Who sued Hogan? No, who sued Hogan?
Don't tell me that's not.
Who sued Hogan? From Law and Order?
Oh god damn
What's his
it! He was Munch. Belzer.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Richard Belzer there on guitar. Not him. That guy. I don't know who that guy is. There he is. Jason Schwartzman. Take your pick.
Oh, this is a terrible pacing.
That cost me a lot of money.
I'd keep your eye on those two guys as far as, fooling around with your equipment and stuff.
This is
They were trying
why
to sell
does
this.
exist?
This was a
About
pilot.
play, and there's some very important.
It's like a daily,
That's
11:30 a.m.
2-1.
Did Vince produce
No,
this?
it
Is
was
that how
outside.
Mooney and Gorilla got on it?
Hey, why did
Wow.
Trying to do a show
So they
here.
have the same agent? Oh, Bobby Heenan's here. This, come on, this can't. Come
This
on.
is the astrologer. This is hi.
Bobby
Karen.
Heenan with World
Yeah, see, this is 94.
Oh,
So Bobby's
well,
gone.
Bobby, would you like to come over and have a seat here?
I need a psychic real bad.
This is Linda Sonnenleiter. She's a psychic.
Hi, Linda.
Why do you need a psychic real
Because
bad?
I've had some feelings like that. I need my feet read.
You need your feet read.
Yes.
Linda, do you read feet?
No, I read bumps on the head, though.
You
And
do
I
read
think
bumps
you've
on the
had
head.
a few.
I've had a few over the years, but I mean, I have this feeling that animals are following me, big hairy apes, like things like that.
Really?
I need my feet read. I had a woman do it once in Newark. It was outside of Tibet, and she read my feet. And when I took my shoes off, I had odor eaters on, and she disappeared. So I never got to see her again. I thought maybe you could help me out, man. I can do this nude too.
No, don't do that.
No, okay.
No, next time. Next time you
put
come.
your foot up here, go ahead. I can always do something new.
Okay,
See what
let's
we got.
see. Oh, now we know what the problem was.
Flat feet.
You got flat feet.
Well, so's my sister.
Uh-huh.
From what I can feel from the vibrations coming from your foot here, okay. There's
Do them both while you're up.
okay. They smell good.
They do?
They do.
I've had 'em in
Okay,
my suitcase
sure.
all
I'm
day.
seeing this.
Linda's
I'm
very
seeing
different.
this tall, blonde lady.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Under the couch.
Wait a minute.
Very, very attractive, and she's got a proposition that's coming up for you in the next 2 weeks here. That's going to be very interesting. Okay.
Oh, he's
In
falling
fact,
asleep.
I'm seeing here over the next
Oh.
month that there's at least a $10,000 retainer or something coming for you.
A $10,000 retainer.
Yeah.
I thought he really needed a psychic. He's
That's all right because I'm
You think his
massaging
feet are
his feet.
ticklish?
No,
Let's
no,
see.
no. I'm trying to relax his body.
Oh, it's working.
Yes. He's got really hyper energy, but he's a
Yeah.
Yeah, what are we doing? I
quite a
thought Bobby
crazy-
could make something out of
He's
this.
got a soft
Oh,
spot
boy.
right here. See
Right
that?
here?
Right there.
There?
Yeah, he's
You
kind
know
of
what you came in to talk to.
out to lunch.
What a nice lady. When do we play Domino
This
Bingo?
is-
Or what do you call this here?
This is a television show.
So he's
It's called
just getting
Bingo, but
Bobby
you're
a
in the
spot
United
on
States
this?
Earth.
Oh, Bobby
yes,
doesn't know what the
yes.
name of the show is.
Okay.
Yes. Let's play some.
Probably.
Hey, saw him at Earl Scheib this morning. Good work. When do we get to do something here? Can I play in the band, or can I sit on the couch, or can I just hang out?
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
Any
you
of
can do
those
anything
things.
you want to do.
You're kidding.
Yes.
No, whatever you like. What would you like to play in the band?
No,
Would
I'd
you...
like to play bingo. I'd
Well,
like to
we
play
have a
bingo.
game to play over here.
Let's play it.
Okay, let's play it.
He's
You're a
trying to
little
get the
late,
show
Mr.
going,
Heenan.
and they're just
You
also
can't play
like,
the game.
No, we've already had a winner.
Okay,
Gave
I
away all
looked up
that
that
money. We gave
reference.
away all this money.
Oh.
If
So they
I looked
played
up
one
that
game?
reference.
yeah.
Earl Scheib was a company that specialized in low-cost repainting and collision repair. So why did he say he saw that guy earlier at Earl Scheib? I just
The paint.
Oh,
he's
is
painting.
he? Oh, that's right. He is. Okay. I see, Bobby. I knew I had trust in
the
Bobby.
guy in the back.
I just wanted to get it. That's all.
He left?
10 minutes ago. No, not today.
You could come
Sorry.
back another time, maybe.
What?
Man, I don't even think they had a script for this
You got all
thing.
the money? No money.
Money
Never
on
carry
another
on
day.
ends.
We're
Do you have anything
gonna
here worth
have to take
anything?
a look. Yes, we do. We'll show you some stuff.
Staffed by.
I haven't picked it yet.
Hey, you know, you look really familiar to me.
So do you. Johnny.
Don't you have your own show with a
I
bunch of
used to.
strange acts?
Yes, yes.
Just like this one.
Kinda.
Anyway, folks,
wink,
you're going to want to know
wink.
where you can get your money. And Bob Jones is standing by to tell you where you can go.
Looking on the
Redeem your winning bingo break card with your personal ID at
Oh, you gotta go to the
National
bank?
Savings Bank, the standard of financial excellence at 9 convenient locations in the Baltimore area to serve you.
Oh.
Now, what we do here, Mr. Heenan, I'm going to spin the big wheel, and if a bonus symbol comes up, they're going to win $500. Want to spin it?
Sure.
Go ahead. Give
Which
it,
of
give
these
it everything you got.
Freemason symbols
A little
will
more
it
than that,
be?
just- There you go. Not too close.
That's good.
The buzzsaw.
I like that.
I knew a girl with zits once like this.
What?
That's a long story.
Okay, and it's going to be a lucky diamond. You just gave away $500. What do you think about that?
Why don't we give him 200 and I split the rest? Can we do that?
Why don't we go over and visit with our friends?
Okay, let's go do that.
Okay.
Actually, the 500 is coming out of your pocket, Bobby.
He probably wouldn't mind.
Huh? With the original deep pockets, Heenan?
Hey, nothing's too good for my friends.
Huh?
Nothing's too good
You got to
for
come
this
up
one,
with the
see?
500 clams for the winner out there.
Well,
This
this
is-
probably not paid for anyway. It doesn't really matter.
Did
Well-
you get a chance to meet Francois?
Yes, I did.
You can call him Frank.
Frank.
Bonjour.
Francois.
Now, folks,
That is the. Wait a minute.
I have to do some business here. Excuse me, guys.
no.
Pardon me. Excuse me. Stop it. Everybody, stop.
What?
Here.
Gorilla
You
gets
would like
handsy
to
with a
contact
guest
the
at least
psychics
once
who
every
are on
show.
the show, you can call the American Association of
So
Professional
this is also
Psychics.
about like
No, I think they would
psychics
just have
meetings
a
as well. They
variety of
choose
guests.
psychics on.
772.
And get your foot read.
No, well, they can do that,
How do they
obviously.
contact you now?
How to contact me? They leave a number over this dispenser in the Newark bus station. It's never mind. It's a long story.
It was also on the wall over at Kmart.
We
I
have
saw.
to go.
See you all.
See you
Bye-bye.
Hey, you never showed it to me.
Be careful.
April Fool.
Okay. Yeah, I did it, Tim.
Okay.
Wow. I don't know how nobody picked that up.
Gorilla shoots on the painter. That's a Danny Hodge wrist lock right there. That guy's actually probably kicking in pain. Someone help him.
Dear. All right, I'm done.
Oh, man. All right. Goodbye. It's Wilson again. That was fun. I bet it was the best episode ever. You know what you can do to help the workers out? Rate, review, all that good stuff on whatever app you're listening to. Tell us how much you love us. If you want to contact us, it's theworkersclubshow@gmail.com. We got a YouTube, The Workers Club Podcast, a Blue Sky, theworkersclub.org, and we have a Discord where the invite link is left in various places. I'm sure you can find it. That's it. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it. Bye.
Smile and love each other.